Good evening, gentlemen. How are you all? How's everybody this evening? It's Wednesday night. It's 10 o'clock. It's the 11th of August. Uh, how's things going? How's things going? I'm starting to think that it's looking good for Southeast Asia. This country. It's looking quite positive. So anyway, just say hello to people. Oh my God, there's 100 people here already. Will Barnes, Leeds, Wayne M. Chaz Brown, Dutch Farang, Travis Devola, Chaz Brown, Martin Ryder. Lovely to hear from you all. She had a hairy muff. I do like the hairy stuff. I got a king prong. Yeah, that's got to be worth putting on there. Come on, bit quirky. I've got a king prawn korma, a Henry Western cider, and my favourite scouser on the TV. Bloody good. Cheers, mate. Yogi Bear, good evening, Ed. How are you feeling now? Well, I've been a bit rough recently. I've had various problems. But those who watch the Steady Eddie live channel, it always seems to be when I'm on that one that I have, problems, physical problems, and this sort of stuff. But I'm feeling okay now. If you see me touching my nose and maybe coughing and whatever, I think I've got a bit of the old hay fever. I'm pretty sure that there's some of that going on. So please excuse me. Bernard Purcell, Wells 32, RP 525, Bintman, whatever. Bintman, hi Ed, hope you're good. I'll be flying out to Thailand on Saturday. Good for you, mate. Looking forward to seeing Pattaya again. Yeah, good for you, good for you. It's all looking really positive. Neil Fleet, evening Ed, hope all's well. Okay, nice to hear from you, mate. Stuart Marsden, Ion Tilt, Leo Malley, Ned Fields, Tiller Hertz, Leo Malley. Where do we go? Leo Malley, evening Eddie from sunny Littlehampton. Okay, all right, fine. Wasn't it a football match which was advertised somewhere? Hampton versus Littlehampton. Sort of someone must have had an inferiority complex somewhere along the way. Yeah. Oh, I've been told I got a little answer, but that's another story. Anyway, Ned Fields, Pinball, Simon Anderson, Tom Streeter, Peter Blue, Paul Hoskin, Tiller Hurt. Someone likes the music. He said, loving the 70s porn music. I've heard that one before. Who's this now? Derek Edwards. Yes, back in Cambodia in October, mate. You got this. Bloody good. Sounds good. I'm hearing good vibes. I'm hearing good vibes all over the place. I mean, they say no news is good news. Well, there's not really any bad news that I'm hearing right now about what's happening in Southeast Asia. All the indications are that this coming peak season, which starts in November, is going to be pretty good. It's looking very, very positive. I'm hearing good vibes coming from Cambodia, from Thailand. I've seen a few videos about bars being, new bars being put up in Walking Street and Pattaya. It's all looking pretty good. I've been in touch with a couple of people this week who were in Siam Reap, and they seem to be having a good time. Yeah, it's good. It seems to be good vibes all over the place. Let's hope it stays that way. Ed Sweeney's 20 stone white back in England. You look sexy. Oh, thank you, Honey Buns. Don't worry, Honey Buns. I'll be putting my my your favourite aftershave on later, and I'll be coming to see you, darling. Okay, right. Brian Street. Nice to hear from you, Brian. Nice to hear from you. Blake Burgess. Blake Burgess. Martin Ryan. Will you be pinning on Manga HQ to her? What is Manga HQ? Look, I think you mean it. Yeah, I think you might mean another live stream. Captain Black, Thomas Stewart, Sean Wild, World Traveller, Life Eraser, Neil, it's Thursday. Guys, just had sex with a homeless drug addict behind Asda. Well, good for you. Good for you, mate. Anyway, have fun. Dixie Enormous, nice to hear from you, mate. Nice to hear from you. Barry from EastEnders. Here's to a great live stream. Okay, McLaren F1, Mr. Eddie Steady. Cheers that early, mate. To accept. I'll say no more. Okay. Fanny, El Terrifico, Mickey Baxter, Wayne Kerr. So what we'll do tonight, there's not really a great deal to talk about. So I thought, seeing as it's Wednesday night, we'll do travel talk. Who's going out to Thailand? Who's going out to Cambodia or even Vietnam or the Philippines this winter? I've got my flight booked for November. It's a 4-month ticket. I haven't done really any planning. I've simply booked the flight, but the flight's in the bag. Still 3 months ago, but the flight's in the bag anyway. And I'm just hoping, and I'm not really supposed to talk about stuff like this, but what's happening, that tension that's in there, that place called Taiwan. Let's hope that doesn't. Well, let's hope everything's okay out there. Let's hope nothing unpleasant happens. But if it does, let's hope it doesn't disrupt everyone's travel schedule. So, some of you probably know what I mean. A certain airline. Wayne Kerr, hi Ed, I'm saving up for my holidays, but after paying all the new rip-off rates for everything, including food and bills, I'll be looking to afford a weekend break in Skegness. Yeah, this is a problem. I mean, whenever out of the woods, I mean, it looks like, these countries are opening up to us once again, but all of a sudden, people are struggling in England with the cost of living. I'm hearing huge reports. I'm not going to be here this winter, but I'm hearing huge reports about electricity bills and gas bills and all the rest of it. It's there's a fair bit of doom and gloom around. I mean, it's a case of the good Lord gives with one hand and the devil takes with the other. The good Lord, is giving us that these countries are now starting to resemble what they were like in the olden days. They're starting to piece themselves together, and travel is becoming easy for us again. The bad news is that everything's getting bloody expensive. Will Barnes will be in Bangkok in 3 weeks' time. So who exactly is positive about this winter? Who thinks that this peak season that's coming in November is going to be good, it's going to be problem-free, and it's going to be like a return to the good old days? Who thinks that? Let's see. Stephen Gamble, nice to know. Steve Booth, I'm in tired now, mongering. You're supposed to keep quiet about stuff like that. Yogi Bear, good evening to all in the chat. Okay. Davo the First, nice to hear from you. Pele's here, nice to hear from you. Chris Williams, should be an epic, busy Pattaya high season this year, subjected to flight prices being cheaper by the end of November. David, we talked about this before, but there are some good deals out there. I mean, there's nothing that is as cheap as what it should be. Everything's gone up. But if you shop around, I don't think it's not as expensive as what it is. I managed to get a decent flight for about, including the insurance, about 770 quid return, a direct flight from London to Bangkok. I'm quite happy with that. That same airline, I probably would have got that for a couple of £100 cheaper before the pandemic, but it is what it is. It is what it is. Let me see now. Where are we? Delayed Dave. Good evening, Eddie. Evening all. Hope everyone is doing well. Okay, thank you. Karen Farang from the jungle. Good evening to you. What conversation is going on here? There's a I've kind of missed it. Blake Burgess, looking forward to getting back to Southeast Asia next year. Hiding out with some rum in the Caribbean until then. Well, good for you, mate. Good for you. Good for you. Matthew Cartwright, good evening, Eddie. Even though let's have a few beers, okay? Life Utopia, even Eddie, looking forward to some travel chat on a Wednesday night. Lovely. It's Thursday. I was going to do it last night, but I made other arrangements. Blake Bairds, looking forward to getting back to. Yeah, okay, we've already done that. Yeah. Delayed Dave, just booked from the Azores in March next year. Couldn't resist the £28 flight. The Azores. Where is the Azores? And where are you exactly? The Azores. I'm not quite sure where that is. That's somewhere far away and very, very exotic. £28. Where is I don't actually know where that is. Oh, let's see. Paul Hoskin, I only want to go for the fact. Well, good for you, mate. You know what you like. You know what you like, so good for you. Mickey Berkshire. Ed, what about the monkey box? Who's doing the monkey box on arrival? Who's screening for that? I don't believe Thailand's doing that. Is it other? They've got a monkey box. They've got a couple of cases in Cambodia. I have actually heard about that. I don't know how serious that's going to be. It's not going to be like the dreaded Antivirus, you know. I don't think it's going to be as bad as that. I mean, the monkey box, seems to affect a certain group of people, of which I'm not one. Regardless of what you may have heard, I'm not one. I'm no monkey. Sean Wild, all booked up and flying out to Thailand on Christmas Day. Who said Christmas Day? I'm happy I pre-booked my flights a while ago, as the cost of flights are currently rising. Somebody mentioned they were going out to. It seems unusual that on Christmas Day, but apparently he said that the flights were not really as expensive as you think. M249, hello, heading off to another 36-hour shift, but it's worth. Oh, I couldn't do that, but it's worth it because I'll be back in Asia in October. Good for you. Good for you, mate. One thing, I couldn't do a shift pattern like that. I can work every day, 7 days a week. But I don't like long hours. That's one thing about me. I just haven't got the stamina for it. Cyril Denham, anyone flown from Bangkok to Manila with Philippine Airlines? Bangkok to Manila, I don't believe I have. Kippo Mahmoud, Pattaya in November will be the daddy of all sausage fests. What makes you say that? No, I think there'll be plenty of women there. There'll be plenty of blokes going out there, yeah. But I'm not so sure that November is one of the busiest months. I know that's the start of the peak season. But I've heard someone saying that September and October can be reasonably busy. November takes a little bit of a dip because everyone's going out there in December. I don't think November is a particularly busy month. But you'll say, no, I think there'll be plenty of women out there. Let's see. Derek Edwards, things are finally looking good all over Southeast Asia. Yeah, okay. I mean, if things were really, really negative, and dreadful things were happening, we'd have something really to talk about. But it's all looking pretty positive right now. Brian Street, anyone in the UK got a glass of water I can borrow? Oh God, I know the water bills and everything are going up. Chris Atkinson, well, obviously it's good to travel and has been for months. Okay. Kipax, nice to hear from you. Karen Frank, Mickey, but no, not doing that. Steve Butso, I got a ticket to Thailand for $300, $300 direct flight from Australia. Well, that sounds pretty good. So was that one way or two ways? That sounds good. Pacey is one. Good to be optimistic, but also prepare for the worst. I know it doesn't pay to be too optimistic. Tony Blair said that, didn't he? All the polls were indicating he was going to win by a landslide, but he said the worst thing you can do is to be too optimistic. So we're not going to build our hopes up. It's still another 3 months before I'm flying out, so anything can happen. Tom Streeter, bloody hot in the southwest. It's hot all over England right now. I'm not. Is Asia fully open now? Well, Thailand seems to be okay. They've dropped. There's a huge difference between now and the earlier this year. I mean, earlier this year, you had all the bloody PCR and all that nightmare. I think it's all gone now. I think we can safely say, unless something really bad happens, the worst thing that can happen is you switch on the news and somebody says, breaking news, there's another variant being found in bloody Guatemala or whatever. You think, here we go again. But I think everything's really, really under control now. Paul Hoskin, it's really great dogging weather. Okay, good for you. What kind of dog have you got? Alf Hukia, I was waiting last night. I thought I'd missed you. No, I did put out a message to say I'm going to be doing it this night. Let's see. Steve Wounder. What Asda was that asking for the? Oh, he's talking about somebody who had a shag at Asda. RNF, get on the plane to Thailand for 11 days. We'll be staying until I get tired of being there. Get on the plane to Thailand 11 days now. We'll be staying until I get tired of being there. Oh, good for you. You can get a bit. I mean, you know, some people think, you know, I'd never ever get bored of Thailand. You can. It's only eating and drinking and massages and all the other mucky stuff that goes with it. It can get a bit much. I mean, I was out there for 4 months early this year. Now I was thinking I'll probably stay for another couple of months, maybe do a full 6. But at the end of the day, I mean, it got a bit much after a while, and I just wanted to come home and be dull, you know, just sit in front of the TV and watch Netflix and you know, just be dull really. So you can have too much of a good thing. Peter Blue, I'm hoping to go to the Philippines next March. Now, the Philippines is looking good, but I believe they recently brought out a rule, didn't they, that you've got to provide evidence of your recent booster shot before they'll let you in. So it's still the case when you go into these countries that you've got to check the regulations. I mean, it's for people who've been double vaccinated. You know, it should be okay. But some of the countries, you know, can pull a fast one. Like, I mean, you know, the Philippines wanted evidence of, you know, of a recent booster shot. And not only that, I've still got 3 months now to before I start traveling again. I'm kind of thinking I had my vaccinations last year. I had 3 of them. Perhaps I, you know, may you know, try and get another shot. Oh, I'm not so sure anyway. I'm not so sure. It's like if the ones that I've already had, if they're sufficient, then yeah, I'll go with that one. I don't want to be having bloody, you know, boosters and, you know, all this kind of stuff. This is it. Do you have the 3rd vaccine or the 2 vaccines? Well, I've had the 3rd one, but they were last year, weren't they? And remember, I think you've got to keep your evidence, your documentation updated. You know, make sure that it's updated and best have it in paper form as well, so that you can show it when you arrive in the country. So, yeah, maybe I better think about that. I might have to take a little bit of advice about that. I had three vaccinations, but that was last year. Joe, how do you find the best airline ticket to Thailand? Is the site you normally use? To be honest with you, I go with the devil that I know. I use Skyscanner, which is Skyscanner is a search engine, and you know it comes up. I think there's probably possibly better ones out there, but that one is very, very established. So I kind of feel pretty safe with that one. Okay. Kipex, book cake party at my hotel room. Everyone's, oh, good for you, mate. Have fun. Karen Farang from the jungle. I'm planning an end of November, early December trip to Phnom Penh. I haven't been for 3 years and missed the film. Good for you. Yeah, Cambodia. I'm looking forward. I am looking forward to seeing Cambodia again. I really, really am. By this year, it will be almost 4 years since I've actually been to Cambodia. Almost 4. That seems a long time. So it'll be really, really nice to see that place again. Bitman, it's Thursday night. Yeah, I know it's Thursday night. Life Utopia. I've got my flight booked December the 2nd, January the 15th with you. Do you mean Eva Air? 690. Very, very happy. I'm assuming you mean Eva Air. This is the only thing. We shouldn't really talk about this, but let's just hope nothing bad happens in Taiwan. Let's hope nothing bad. Let's hope nothing bad. You know, not just for selfish reasons. You know, I mean, I went to Taiwan a couple of years ago, maybe 3 years ago, and it was a nice little country, and there were nice people there. And all that. Let's just spare a thought for them, because remember, Eva there is Taiwanese. So if anything happens there, kiss goodbye to your flight. Let's see, Martin Ryder, Eddie Eva. Eddie, Eva there wants £60 to allocate your seat. Would you recommend it? is that a new idea? Because is that a new idea? Because I've flown with Eva Air before the pandemic, and they didn't. If you want to choose a seat, yeah, I didn't actually choose a seat. What I've always done with Eva Air, I've turned up at the airport and I've said on check-in, I've said, can I have an aisle seat? I like an aisle seat, and I always seem to have got one. And but you tell me that they want 60 quid to allocate your seat. It's a little bit of luxury, doesn't do any harm. I mean, if you like a window or an aisle, nobody chooses a seat in the middle. Nobody wants that. You got a couple of fat bastards sitting either side. You don't want any of that. 60 quid to allocate your seat. If it's both ways, then it's probably not that bad. Probably not that bad. Matchel in the buff, a Vietnamese lady, cheaper to rent a condo in Pattaya than heat a flat in England. Do you know something? I've never actually rented a condo in Pattaya, but I might just do that for the first time this year. I'm not quite sure of my schedule, but something else that we want to talk about. It would be nice, wouldn't it, if the proposed 45-day tourist visa comes about. That would be really, 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 really nice. They haven't finalized. They're talking about it, but a 45-day tourist visa on arrival, that'd be great. That would give me maybe a week in Bangkok, a whole month in renting a condo in Pattaya, and then maybe another week in Bangkok, something like that, before going somewhere else. JJ, cost of living high everywhere. Okay, thank you. Let me see. Well, yeah. Actually, well, sorry, that comment there. Cheap as a renter condo in Pattaya than a heated flat. Yeah, it looks like it's good there. It looks like that's the way it's going. Daniel Mills, good to be outside of the UK this winter with the cost of heating your home. I'm just glad that I'm not going to be here. I'm not going to be here. Let's see, Dutch for and Cold War will have another meaning soon. Yeah, absolutely. Mickey Barks, yeah. Ed, do you think ST and LT are inflation related? Yeah, probably. Everything else is. Everything else is, isn't it? Let's see. Kipback's busy or not, I'm going to have a great time. It's what you make of it. Absolutely. I'm feeling quite positive. I'm feeling quite positive with this winter. I'm hearing good vibes from Thailand, Cambodia. Not so much Vietnam, but I don't know. I haven't really heard that much of, Vietnam. But I did hear a report, something is that Cambodia's easing borders, and it's going to be easy to get from Cambodia to Vietnam. Yeah, so I'm not quite well. Let's just see what happens anyway. Paul Hoskin, what do you do after 30 beers and 3 massages every day? Jesus, I'd drop dead. That's what I'd do, mate. That'd kill me. You've obviously got a lot more energy than I have. Chris Holtz, it will rock and roll. Let's hope so. Peter Bloom, not like it was before the pandemic. Brian Street, thank you for that super chat. Brian Street's going out to Bangkok pretty soon. Only 34,560 minutes till wheels up. Good for you, mate. I can tell that you're enthusiastic, but I think you're there in the middle of September. I'd love to have met you out there. Really, really, really would. But have a great time, mate. Anyway, hope it all goes well for you. And thanks for that super chat. Email. I don't know, but I really hope so. I lived in Vietnam for many years and miss it so much. It's a great place. I've done a fair bit of Vietnam before the pandemic. It's a great place, but I don't actually know what that place is looking like right now. I haven't heard that much feedback. I mean, last time I seen District 1 in Saigon, Ho Chi Minh City, it was looking more and more like Las Vegas with all the bright lights and everything. But then the pandemic come along, and I don't know what that place looks like now. Really don't. Okay, Steve Beater, I went for a rompy pompy massage yesterday. Good for you, mate. You dirty. Oh, good for you. Johnny D. Eddie, my dad, Johnny D Senior, is your favourite fan. Okay, cheers to Johnny D Senior. It sounds like an old-fashioned DJ, doesn't it? Johnny D. Bloody good name, that. Cheers, Johnny. And cheers, yeah. Okay, cheers. Captain Black, let's go to Batar and talk to the bar girls about the cost of living, just for the crack. Honest, the mind boggles at the response you will get. Ernest Connell, I don't believe there will be a full rebound this winter. Say it to believe it. Oh, I don't know. I think it'll be lively. I'm not gambling or nothing like that. I'm not betting anybody, but I think it'll be a good year. I think Thailand and Cambodia, those countries will be pretty good. I'm not so sure about the Philippines. A lot of people are going to go there, but if they're going to be pulling a fast one out of the hat, you've got to have your latest booster before you arrive there, or something like that. It's not going to do them any favors. Let's see. Steve, the flights in Belfast to Bangkok return 1,700. Is that euros? That's expensive. That's bloody expensive. That is, mate. That's expensive. What's this? Martin Ryder, Karen Farang from the jungle. As long as I don't urinate on the passenger next to me. Oh, God almighty. Didn't that actor do something like that? What was it? Gerard Depardieu? He couldn't use a toilet in an airplane. I think there was a queue there. Instead he peed in a bottle, or it was something like that. Dirty bugger. McLaren F1 race. Well, to be fair, Ed, I'm collecting friends on Facebook, Home for Mates rates. Wow, there's some fitties in Pattaya right now. Get out there, lads. Okay, brilliant. They look after themselves, these Thai girls. I encountered some last time I was there. Some of the massage girls, absolutely beautiful, and they go to the gym. These girls, and I've said this before, but quite often you see a girl and you think she could be 25, and she's actually 35. They age really, really well, and they look after themselves, and they got lovely bodies, nice and shapely with supple breasts. Oh God, I can't wait. Let's see. Scipio Africanus, nice to hear from you, mate. Good evening, Ed. Nice to see you freshly shorn and rosy cheek. Yeah, I had a shave. I had a little bit of a shave before. And the thing is, I managed to cut my hair because some of you may know I had a terrible problem with my shoulder recently, but I can manage to reach at the back of my head. But nice to hear from you, mate. Nice to hear from you. Andrew Jones, Kuwait Airways, 575 quid. Return to Philippines. Is that from England or Kuwait? Sounds good. Pages one, flight price to Thailand, 900 euros and up from Europe. Now, so it seems 900 euros. What's that? Is that about 850 quid or something like that? Yeah, it does seem expensive. Sean Wild, I'm hoping to Eddie, spending 2 days in Bangkok and flying over to Koh Samui and spending a few days in Koh Phangan before returning to Bangkok for a few days. Sounds great. I did all those, but did I do all of those places? Yeah, I was in all of those places early this year. And I know somewhere like Koh Samui, I mean, when I seen it some months ago, it was a lot of closures. But I think these places, these countries like Thailand, they're very, very resilient. They've still got at least 3 months to go before the peak season really, really kicks in. And I think they'll do it. I think they'll know that by December, they've got to get their act together. And I think, they're very resilient. I think, I'm not saying it's going to be completely the way it was before the pandemic, but I think it'll be something closely resembling it. Kipax, can't wait to empty my tank in Thailand. Okay. Yeah, good for you, mate. Paul Hoskin, what's the best flavored condoms to take? Depends whose mouth they're in. Okay. Let's see. Philip Reed, I think the flights will come down eventually to get rid of those green levies. It's just when. I think they will. Well, it's a bit of a bastard of a time right now. It's a bit of an awkward time. We've had the pandemic. There's conflicts going on in the world, and there's staff shortages across the world. I tried to get a doctor the other day. I couldn't get one. You go to the doctors. I had problems with my hair, and I said, I need to see a doctor. I need an appointment. Oh, we don't do appointments. A bloody doctors that doesn't do appointments. And did you ever think you would live to see the day when you go to the doctors and say, I want an appointment, and they say, we don't do appointment? What do you bloody do? You've got to turn up early in the morning and just hope for the best. But it is what it is. It is what it is. Let me see. Kipax, did you have a lady the night round? Yeah, I had me 20-stone wife. Sexy stuff. Will Barnes, flights are expensive, but I'm going back to business. Flights are expensive, but I'm going back on business class seat. Well, good for you, mate. Good for you. I've never flown business class, never. I'm quite happy with economy as long as I get it. As long as I get an aisle seat. I like an aisle seat. So therefore, because the way that I drink, I pee quite frequently, and I don't want to be telling other people to move out the way. So I can go and take a leave. There are some people who can do a 12-hour flight and never ever once go to the bathroom. I don't know. My bladder just wouldn't last that long. It wouldn't. Anyway, JJ, my flight from Brisbane to Siem Reap with Singapore Airlines was the cheapest I've paid. That sounds bloody good. That sounds good. Scipio Africanos, the coast of West Africa. Is that where the Azores are? The coast of West Africa. Well, that sounds good. That sounds good. Someone got that for 28 quid, didn't he? Let's see. Martin Ryder, Azores is mid-Atlantic. Can I see place those? Donald Trump, nice to hear from you, mate. Nice to hear from you. Karen, in fact, I was the ladies in Romania. The Romanian women are lovely, but all the best ones have actually left Romania. Okay, we've got a couple of comments which I'm not going to put the comments about monkeypox there. Yogi Bear, Azores are in the Atlantic off the coast of Portugal. Is that where they are? Well, that's also 28 quid. That sounds bloody good. Azores in the Atlantic off the coast of Portugal. Sounds absolutely lovely. Okay, good for you, mate. Whoever's going on a 28 quid flight. Neil Fleet, I bought some nice beers from Asda online. Fusty Ferret 4.8 and Bishop's Finger 5.4. Lovely stuff. Do you know something? I go through that bloody beer. I shop online with Asda, and I buy booze, and I think beer and all that, and I think, well, that'll last me a month. Like Ellerway, bloody a week later, there's hardly anything left. Let me see. John Paul, finally booked my ticket. First week of September is Thailand, and second week of September is Cambodia, then back home. Can't bloody wait. Well, that's not very long. It's only a few weeks away, isn't it? Can't bloody wait. Any good Bangkok hotel recommendations? Well, the last time I tried to stay in a decent hotel, the Royal Ivory, it was closed, and I ended up staying in a bloody, bit of a slum. The video is there if you want to see it. So I'm not the best one, but I've got to check something out. I like my favorite hotel there, but it was closed. Red wine, yes, that's bloody good value. Guys, the chat, do freelancers have hairy, womanly bits? Genuinely would love to know. Some of them do. So I've heard, anyway. Kipax, it will be fine. I normally go in June and have a great time. Absolutely, yeah. Andrew Jones, Philippines Airlines is second rate and expensive. Cebu Pacific, Air Asia, much better and cheaper. I think I've flown with them, Cebu Pacific. And definitely, I've flown a lot of times with Air Asia, definitely. Daniel Mills, Christmas in January is usually a sausage fest. Is it? I've never actually been to Thailand or Pattaya in the month of at Christmas time, but I've been there many, many times in January. And I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that. World Traveller, low season was best time for mongering. Yeah, okay, I can give you that one, definitely. Sounds right. Martin Ryder going bargain basement mongering in September in Canterbury, local prices. Good for you, mate. Good for you. Yeah, Will Barnes, John Paul. What day are you going? Are you asking John Paul? Oh, yeah, he's asking somebody else there. Okay. Karen Farang from the jungle. Pattaya will fill up with women towards the end of November. It's full now, just not the best quality. Okay, thanks for that info. Captain Black, got my flight New Year's Eve from Newcastle to Bangkok, return for under £1,000. So, well happy with that. Oh, that sounds good. That sounds good. The thing is, you're flying from Newcastle. Somebody else said that it was very, very expensive. I think the London airports, because they're more established and bigger, I won't say better, but they're bigger. I think it could be worth journeying to London really to get a far cheaper flight. I mean, I don't know what the distance is from somewhere like, I imagine Newcastle's quite a long way, but from Manchester or whatever, it might be worth going to London. I'm seeing flights in the US to Thailand for $1,060 late in the year. Good value for the States. The prices were $1,600. Well, it's good to see that it's good that they're coming down with it. Steve P, any recommendations for how long to go to Pattaya for a first-time visitor? Well, a couple of weeks isn't bad. I mean, it depends how long your holiday is. I mean, if you're traveling for how long did I do with first go to Pattaya? I think I was probably there for about a week, and then I went to Chiang Mai after that. Any recommendations? Pattaya first-time visitor. I'd probably give. If you've got 2 weeks, just stay there for 2 weeks. Because the fact is, if you've never been there before, you would still need to find your way around. And 2 weeks is, it's pretty good. I mean, also, but if you only had 2 weeks from Pattaya, you could break it up by going to the island of Koh Samet for a couple of days, or maybe Koh Chang for maybe 3 days. You could be, but you could. The good thing about Pattaya is that it's not far from Bangkok Airport. It's only one and a half hours by road. So, if it depends how long you're there, but a couple of weeks, you won't get bored there. Jason Vlogs. I'm off to Thailand in December, then spend Christmas in the Philippines. Good for you, mate. Sounds good. David Heisenberg. Good evening, Eddie, and all. Good evening to you, mate. Andrew Jones. Eva Air has a sale return. A sale? Airlines actually having a sale on this right now? As a sale return, London to Bangkok. Non-stop flight, 595. 599 quid. Is that return? If that's return, that sounds bloody good. New York native. I paid $2,100 in July, but bought a ticket 1 week in advance. Oh, that's expensive. That sounds expensive, no matter where you're coming from. Okay, I'm just going to go focus on well fallen behind with the chat here. Massively, sorry, I've massively fallen behind with the chat here. Sorry about this. Let me see. I was going to race forward. Steve Johnson, 21 days booked for Crimbo, including Pattaya, Koh Chang and Bangkok. 3 great places for New Year's Eve. 45 days is too much for us. 2 times 21 days with flights cost $1,250 each. 21 days. Well, if you're happy with that, 21 days, that sounds pretty good. 3 weeks. 3 weeks is better than 2 weeks, absolutely. And if you're doing Pattaya, Koh Chang, Bangkok, the weather should be really, really good at that time. Everything looks at that should be a really, really good trip, mate. A really good trip. And thanks for that super chat as well, Steve. Cheers. Okay, I'm just going to go up this one. Yeah, another super chat. K Jensen, €5. Thank you, mate. Anyway, thank you. Nice to really appreciate that. Anyway, really appreciate that. Okay, so listen, I've just caught up with the chat. I'm just going to have it. Just going to grab another little bit of beer. Listen. Apologies to everyone if I if I miss, because I fell behind with the chat. I just can't keep up with it all. Really, I really can't keep up with it all. But I do try and answer as many as I can. Somebody else give me a super chat. Big G1 Tours 96, £10. Thanks for that. I fully agree on the London shout. I'm heading to Cambodia, winter 23 from Heathrow. I live up north, but worth the journey south for the direct flight. Yeah, that's the way it seems, because a lot of people are complaining about some of the northern places like Manchester. The flights were ridiculously expensive. But I mean, I'm sure it doesn't take that long to get from Manchester to Heathrow. I mean, I live about 200 miles away from Heathrow, but I can get there in 4 or maybe 4.5 hours by National Express coach, and it's worth it. So, yeah, quite right. Anyway, thanks for that super chat, mate. Cheers for that. Anyway, thanks for that. Let me see. I'm just going to go back. Sorry if I've missed everything. People out there. It's going to pour myself a little teensy weensy little bit of Kronenberg. Who have we got now? Captain Black. That one guy. I'll be there October the 28th through mid-March. Yeehaw. Good for you, mate. Good for you. Cats and Good Coffee. Nice to hear from you, mate. Ocean Vibes. Just got back to the US. Hotel prices fantastic. You've just got back to the US. Presumably, I mean, when you say the hotel price, you're talking about when you were in Thailand. Hotel prices are fantastic. The ladies in Treetown, a disgrace. Really? So there's a shortage of they'll be back. All the good-looking women will be back. They will. I'm sure they will. I must admit, the women. Well, last time I was in Thailand, the women overall didn't seem to be of the quality. They didn't seem to be of the particular quality that the standard that I'm used to there. But I think all the good-looking girls will be back. It'll be a new generation. Let me see. Oh my God! Look who we've got here. Lisa Dale. Cheers to you, Lisa Dale. Nice to hear from you. Lisa Dale. I get a lot of abuse on here, but wouldn't expect anything else from a gaggle of disgusting old sex tourists. Shame on you all. Okay, and remember what we do. With Lisa Dale when she graces us with her presence. What we do, we try and give it a bit of dramatic effect for Lisa Dale. Okay, so I've got to say this with dramatic effect. Here goes. I get a lot of abuse on here, but wouldn't expect anything else from a gaggle of disgusting old sex tourists. Shame on you all, you bastards. Okay, Lisa Dale, lovely to have you along. Okay, a Nomad Overseas, Cats and Good Coffee, double bag with those. A Nomad Overseas, Cats and Good Coffee, double bag with those Filipinos, or you may end up paying for the entire family tree. Lovely people. If you get it up the duff, you'll be the family. Well, tell us something that's new. We all know this anyway. It's the same in Thailand, the same in Philippines. It's probably the same in Cambodia and Vietnam. If you meet a girl, you fall in love with her. The chances are she's got a family, and you are a rich farang, and she will expect you to subsidize the family. That's the way it's always been. You've got to. Dutch Farang, Eddie, did you ever submit a story to Peter? No, I suppose it's supposed to be quite dull, really. I mean, Peter asked me on Thailand Bound. It was on his live stream the other night. What's it was something about you haven't had a really bad experience? I haven't really. I've managed to avoid all of that. So the idea of a story, I've never actually submitted this. Everything's really, when I've traveled around Asia, everything's really gone like clockwork, really. You know, I wish that I had something to really tell, but I haven't really. Everything beside was showing 35 square meter square condos in John TM for only 159 pound a month. Great condo long term, 6-month rental, but the deals are there. Okay, well, thanks for that anyway, mate. Thanks for that. Kipax, Lisa Dale, you're the real star of the show. She's a superstar. Did you all see the I unearthed a holiday snap from Lisa Dale. I thought she disappeared because I unearthed a holiday snap. Can we get it up now? The holiday snap of Lisa Dale. There we go. Let's see. There you go. Can we get this holiday snap up of the lovely Lisa Dale and friends? There you go. There's Lisa Dale. There's Lisa Dale with a holiday romance. A hunky Gambia man. There you go. Lovely couple. Absolutely lovely couple. Don't they look gorgeous together? Delightful. Okay, let's just leave it lower. That's get that off the screen. Let's see. David Coleman, Captain Black. I have 4 months to full retirement. Then I can go monger anywhere in the world. Good for you, mate. Good. Nice to hear from you, David. Dutch Farang, I would like to meet some mongers from the chat, but I'm afraid I won't fit in. I'm sure you will, mate. I'm sure you will. Carl Foster, Porto Galata, Philippines. Good place to go for Christmas. Porto, okay. Thanks for that anyway. Let me see now. Okay, we'll go down here. Okay. Cats and Good Coffee, a nomad overseas. I heard stories of Westerners meeting Filipinas online. They decided to fly to Philippines to meet her, and the whole family picked them up at the airport. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do that. I know I've heard those stories as well. Because the fact is, they're putting you on the spot. They're like bloody they're putting you on the spot. Absolutely, I wouldn't do it. Mick Meechin, we could have the Ed Sweeney bar crawl. You never know. We could arrange something. Karen Farang from the jungle. If Eddie set up a Discord, could be arranged. No. I don't use Discord. Martin Ryder, he's obviously seen that picture of Lisa Dale. Yeah, okay. Sean Wild, Eddie, have you caught any? No, I'm not. Well, no, I did. I have seen. I actually quite like some of that guy's stuff. I do actually quite kind of like some of it. Peter Blue, Eddie pork pies, Eddie. Do you know I haven't had a pork pie since bloody Margaret Thatcher was Prime Minister. I get this Asda delivery, but when I'm doing the Asda online, I never ever. I include a lot of. There's always things that they haven't got. I haven't actually included a pork pie yet. You may be hungry now. Fancy a bloody pork pie. Esan man, the decline in quality of Pattaya bar girls and increase in average age was happening well before the pandemic. Bar owners struggled to get the girls to work bar and sugar more to keep the ones they get. Really, bar owners are struggling to get the girls. I would have thought they'd be queuing up for work. How times are changing. Okay. Is it David Coleman? You could probably get anything in between. You probably could. But what you said, he's asking, can you get a couple of L's? A couple of L's. What would you want a couple of L's for? I mean, a sandwich. You can get a sandwich, absolutely. I wouldn't want a couple of L's, definitely not. Captain Black, I live 20 minutes from Newcastle. It's so handy to jump on Emirates, Dubai, Bangkok. Heaven. Good for you, mate. Good for you. Yogi Bear, there's enough people going to Thailand in November, plus those that are there. Just book a bar and take it over. Great crack. And you get to put a face to the names on there. Good for you, mate. And Nomad Overseas, Cats and Good Coffee. I'll be heading there in about a month. They're lovely people. The girls are stunning, but make sure to think with the big head. The small heads will only lead to trouble. Absolutely. Keep your wits about you. Absolutely. Kay Jensen, make sure to have beer in your glass there. Most important, they're not making all the messages, so don't worry. The chat goes so fast. There's over 300 people in the chat here. The thing is, there's no solid subject really to talk about this week, unless is everyone thinking positive about the forthcoming peak season? That's basically the only thing. No news is good news. I mean, there's no really bad news coming from these places. I'm getting more positive vibes and everything. I think it'll be a good season. So it doesn't really give us too much to talk about, but it's nice to come on here this live stream and share a few things together. Let me see. Let me see. Siam, I am. After a few jaunts, Thailand no longer overwhelms me. Vietnam 2023 on tap. Vietnam's a great place. It is a great place. The women are a bit greedy. They're a bit greedy. I don't really know why that is, but Vietnam's a great country. I done plenty of Vietnam just before the pandemic, so I don't really need to go there now. But I don't really, I don't think that's on the menu for me this coming season. But it is a great country, no doubt about it. I'll be quite happy with Thailand and Cambodia personally. Dutch Farang, I reckon McLaren F1 race is a good lad to meet up. Yeah, he seems like a good guy. McLaren F1 race, Lisa needs a spank. She probably got plenty of that from that bloody Gambian fella she was with. And Nomad Overseas, Edward Sweeney, start a slim fast GoFundMe for Lisa. Also a possible exorcism. If ever I met Lisa, I would say, the power of Christ compels you. Absolutely. Oh, I think I'd rather bloody have that thing out of the Exorcist personally. Some really, really vulgar things here. Let me see. David Heisenberg. Peter's that T-shirt, the one from Dracula's place. My name's Eddie. My name's Eddie. That T-shirt. No, I haven't actually. To be honest with you, that's still in the bag. I haven't actually worn that one yet. No, this is an old. This is an old T-shirt. There you go. We've got who we got there? We've got something that looks like the Bride of Frankenstein on there. I like sort of. It's comfortable. These T-shirts are comfortable. Very, very comfortable. Very washable. I've had them for years. I like it comfortable. There's no tears. They're easy to wash. They're easy to wear. Not a problem. Sean Wild, I think Eddie's got his gold Blue Peter badge. Oh, that was bloody annoying. Blue Peter. Never watched that in the day. Martin Ryder, Lisa's hotel room is haunted in Gambia. She keeps waking up with ectoplasm over her face. Oh, yuck. There's probably an improvement. David R, what's up, Ed? I just booked a week in Cambodia. He's booked a week in Cambodia. Great, good for you, Dave. David's been on this show many times. Good for you. He's going to Thailand and Cambodia, and I'm going to Thailand and Cambodia. Let's hope it all comes about. Let's hope we can meet up, have a beer together. Sounds fantastic. Nice to hear from you, David. Nice to hear from you. Cats are good coffee. A Nomad Overseas Philippine. Okay, let me see. That one guy, Eddie has all the good ladies at home on salary. Let me see, where are we now? Paul Shackleton, good day, new subscriber. Okay, nice to meet you, Paul. Nice to meet you. Mick Meachin, I think Lisa would marry a young Gambian lad for passport issues, no problem, absolutely. Paul Lee, going Christmas time in Thailand. I got my flight in May when there was a good price. Now too expensive. So, I'm not going to read that, what you said, Siam, I am. Okay. Yogi Bear, anyone getting on top of that will burn their eyes in a light bulb. Yeah, I'm with you. You need a bloody crane to get you on it, wouldn't you? And nomad overseas, if you're in Pattaya between October and December, then give me a shout. I meet up with some mongers there, and some are a bit too much. In my opinion, to the point of treating the girls like that. No, you don't treat the girls like that. You certainly don't do that. Yeah, I know. I have seen fellas doing that. Not me. Not me. I must admit, I got very popular with the Cambodian lady simply because I'm not a perfect gentleman, but I'm not bad. If you're a decent guy, you go in bars, you build a rapport with the bar girls. They want to go with you again and again because let's be honest, there's a few knobheads out there who do mistreat the girls, and you should never do that. If you're a gentleman with the girls, then it pays off. It really, really does. John Paul, what is everyone's favourite bar in Bangkok and Pattaya? I need some recommendations. Cheers. I have the head of the dog bar, flown chitta on my list. Okay. Favourite bar in Pattaya? Well, I usually stay around that I usually stay around the Nana area, Soy 4. But those bars, I must admit, the Hillary, is it the Hillary 2 where they have the live band? That is terrific. That really, really is a great bit. I mean, honestly, that's such a damn good night out. It's not cheap, but you go in there, they've got a live band playing, so it allows them on under normal circumstances, of course. Last time I was there, it wasn't normal circumstances, but that is a wonderful, wonderful place. Some really, really great live music there. Harvey Wisdom, nice to hear from you, Harvey. Even that, yeah, big for January, 780 return. Okay, well, Harvey's going to be going from London because that's where I met up with Harvey in Koh Samui, and it was nice having a beer with him. Yeah, great to hear from you, mate. 780 quid return. Sounds good. Sounds good. Good for you, mate. Anyway, good for you. Only in town, chatted to a beautiful girl that had 7 siblings, mother and father, but her and her father were the only two working. So there are 10 mouths to feed. I see a hornet's nest in the back. Yeah, you've got to be aware of all of this. Karen Frank from the jungle. Businesses move from normal locations in Pattaya. So 6, 7, 8 aren't as busy as normal. They give them give them time. They'll be back. They'll be back. Singapore, Dan. Good news here in the States. The CDC says people exposed to the virus will no longer have to quarantine. Let's just hope it's all getting better. The last thing anyone needs is a news story, breaking news. There's been another new variant, fam. We simply don't need that. We simply don't need it. Neil John Riley, as does Melton Mowbray pork pies are great. Absolutely, absolutely. Steve Johnson, what's your plans for Christmas, Eddie? Plans for Christmas, plans for Christmas. I'd a guess. If it all goes well, I will be spending Christmas in Cambodia. That's my plan. Probably Cambodia, but nothing certain yet. I've got my flight boots, return ticket to Bangkok. All the other stuff, I won't be planning that just yet. Barker Dam, the world's economy has changed. People in the West don't have the disposable income compared to other countries anymore. Well, I don't know. I mean, apparently they're saying that it's the mother of all recessions that is heading this way. I mean, the news is full of doom and gloom. It's full of doom and gloom. I'm just hoping that I'm not here this winter. Michael Janaeus, nice to hear from you. Thailand started to get very expensive pre-pandemic. I wonder what it will be like now. Well, this was the controversy. I mean, before the pandemic come along, people were concerned with other things. The fact that Thailand was becoming expensive. I went to the island of Koh Chang, and I did film the menus of some of those places on White Sand Beach. The what's the cowboy bar? Buffalo Bills or whatever it's called. And I showed them on the vlog that I made, and some people were quite horrified. Yeah, Thailand was becoming quite expensive, and also the baht was just getting stronger and stronger. I think it got down to about 37 to a pound. I think it's back is it about 44 to a pound now. So yeah, I mean that was the controversy really. It wasn't just Thailand becoming expensive; it's the fact that Thai baht was going. It looked like it was only going in one direction. Fortunately, it's eased off a little bit now, but we'll see what happens anyway. Ex Tommy Robinson followers. Big Ed, have you heard of this term yellow fever? But why do we never hear the term white fever? As there's many South Asian Chinese women looking for white men. What are your thoughts? Um, yellow fever. I know that's something that's an inoculation that you've got to have before you go to African countries. Um, there's many Southeast Asian and Chinese women looking for white men. What do you think? Well, because they assume that us Westerners have got money. That's the reason. We like them because they're hot and sexy, and they like us because they see us as having money. It's not always the case. No, but overseas. Dutch for anger. I'm a misogynist, but I don't treat the ladies as dirt, okay? Okay, here we go. Oh, she's back. She's back. She's back. This is sunk to another low level again. Disgusting. Okay. How can we do this one? How can we do this one? Should we try the Hannibal Lecter with this one, shall we? This has sunk to another low level again. Disgusting. Okay, on that note, it is squeaky door time. Squeaky door time. Back in a minute. Yo, I'm back. I'm back. Let's see. Here we go. Let me see now. What are your plans for? Where are we again? Okay. David R. David R. I'm going to finish this off first of all. The subject is Cambodia. Ed, you got this. Okay, you got this. We can talk about Cambodia when we're really sure of things and when things are really positive. They look pretty positive now, but it's too early. The peak season is still a fair bit away. But when when we know the details and when the peak season's approaching, that's when we can really start talking properly about these countries. For now, let's just see what happens. Let's see. Where are we? Steve P. Most women are just a life support for the video. That is a bit of a sexist comment. That is a bit of a sexist comment. I mean, do you know something? Do you know something? I hate that word. That's such a clinical word. That is. It's so clinical. It's like it's like the kind of word that a doctor would, or a gynecologist would use. That's bloody. It's awful. I think the word fanny. The word fanny, that's something, fanny is such a nice word. It's like something nice and hairy. Well, they used to be hairy anyway in the good old days. That's a much nicer word. I don't like the V word. Richard, Lisa loves it. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Who's this? Mick Meechin. Don't let the lady see the fear in your eyes or you'll be paying for the loads. Okay, fine and dandy. Yeah, Paul Hoskin, Lisa Colby. There you go, Lisa. You got a fan there. You got a fan there, Lisa. Buzz and Jimmy. Hello, Eddie and the guys in the chat. Hope you're all good. Okay, fine. Nice to hear from you, mate. Kipax. Yeah, you got another fan. I mean, would you imagine bloody Kipax and Paul Hoskin are going to be competing for your affection, Lisa? God almighty, you got your fan club here. Ocean Vibes, just to follow up on my Thailand trip, really had great success on Thai Friendly. Good for you. Quality women with great attitudes. They seem so happy to finally see a Farang. Well, good for you, mate. Good for you. On my last journey, and I was in Thailand for 4 months on my last trip, and I'm not going to lie, there was a lot of not very attractive women around in some a lot of the bars. There was an absence of really hot, sexy ladies. There was a bit of an absence. There's no doubt about that. But I think they'll be coming back. Maybe those girls during the pandemic went on to do other things. There'll be a new generation of them coming along. It's happened before with Thailand. I've gone there and I thought, I'm not really seeing that many really hot ladies around. But it goes in waves. They'll be back. I think if you're out there this winter time, this peak season, I think you'll see a lot of tasty ladies around. Sure you will. Barker Dan, prices have gone up in Thailand over the last 10 years, but my wages are the same. This is why it seems so expensive. That's all over the that's the same across the bloody globe. I would have thought. I mean, the way since the 1990s, the way the wages of the British wages have not risen in line with inflation. When you think how expensive house prices and everything's become. Bintman, I'm going to miss the beer garden. That was part of a tire. The beer garden's there. It was open. I was in the beer garden a few months ago. The beer garden's open, unless they've closed it again. I haven't heard. David Coleman. The problem with Thailand is look, you get plenty. You do get bears with nice knockers. McCain, yeah, okay, can be okay, fine. Tom Street, are you looking forward to Cambodia, Ed? Yes. Yeah, I would like to see that country again. It's by this winter time, it will be actually about 4 years since I've actually been there. I've been in other countries since then, but it will actually be a whole 4 years since I've actually been there, and I can't wait. I'm looking forward to it. Really looking forward to it. Of course, I'll miss Chinookville. I'll have memories of the way Chinookville used to be, but never mind, never mind. There's still going to be some good stuff going on there. Who's this? Isn't that a young Lisa Dale on that T-shirt? No, Lisa Dale never looked this good. Barco Dam, South Central America will become the new Asia for tourism soon. But is it as safe as Asia? I mean, certain areas of South America, you still have to be a little bit careful. What will spoil it if you get too many kidnaps out there? I've travelled through South and Central uh, America, wonderful stuff, and I do so again. But I think it's better. It's better for landscapes than it is, for the. There are lovely women there. Don't get me wrong, but I think you go to South America for other reasons. Who's this? Carl Foster. Lisa Dale kicked my dog. That's because the dog was better looking than her. Bulldog. Hiya. He just came back from the Philippines this week after 3 month health pass. Health pass was a joke. No one cheaper. I had a big ball going back next March. Okay, I've heard about that health pass. I mean, that health pass. We've got to investigate. So Philippines is not necessarily. It's not really on my itinerary this coming winter. Um, but that health pass was a joke. Okay, I think I heard somebody saying that they breezed through it, but I don't need any health pass or anything like that. David R is looking forward to his travel. 3 nights Siam Reap, 4 nights Phnom Penh. Good for you, David. Good for you. Good for you. We'll have a beer together if we're out there. Good for you, David. Anyway. Martin Ryder off to get bladdered. See you all tomorrow on Peter's Manga Bound. Okay, Peter. I appeared on Peter's chat on a Sunday night, and I like appearing on Peter's chat because he's hosting it. He has to do all the work. I mean, he does all the work, and I just sit there and just go with the flow. So it was quite easy, and it was good fun anyway. I'll probably make I'll probably comment. I'll be watching Peter tomorrow night. Okay, let me see. Oh, God Almighty, she's having fun tonight, isn't she? Lisa Dale. I started watching this channel for travel information. It was good a while ago, but it's turned into a sex tourist channel. I'll drink to that. Oh, do you know something, Lisa? If I drink so much of this whiskey, you may even get better looking. Kippo Kippo Macbeth, big nose in the chat tonight, all drinking cold beers because it's not it's too hot not to absolutely. Town, Ed, how will you get from Thailand to Cambodia? Ed, I'll probably go by land. I'll probably it's not to everyone's taste, but you can get a minibus, book a ticket from Pattaya to Siam Reap, and it can pick you up at your hotel at 8:30 in the morning, and you can be in your hotel in Siam Reap by 5:30. 9-hour journey, and that includes border crossings. I've done it before. It's not about 9 hours is fine, Now some people say, "Oh, I couldn't do that. I'd rather I'd much rather." Fly there. Well, I know another vlogger. He was stranded at Phnom Penh Airport for his flight to Thailand was stranded for 9 hours. Do you know what I mean? Nine hours he waited at Phnom Penh. That's an absolute nightmare. I mean, the journey is quite colourful. Not a problem with it. 9 hours is all right. Sean Wild, it's nice to be nice. Okay, fine. I'll go along with that. Richard, met some nice girls from Laos in Pattaya. I think they're going to. Yeah, there is a lot of Lao girls who work in Pattaya. I'm probably Bangkok. A lot of them from that country, and I've met some really, really fun ones. The country itself, I travelled through, about 3 weeks or so through Laos once, and it's very, very scenic place when you go to Mekong in a slow boat and all of that. But I actually found the people there overall were a little bit nondescript. They were a little bit forgettable. They were a bit forgettable. They didn't really have the personality of Cambodia or some of the neighbouring countries. But maybe ever give it a better go. But apparently that country's having a lot of dreadful, dreadful economic problems right now. Bum. Check out the Fantasy Bar. You'll love it. Okay, is that in Bangkok? Let's see. Michael Janaeus, Hillary 2, great place, a great idea. I've had nights out in Hillary 2 when you have the live bands and it's rammed full of people and you got some lovely, lovely, lovely women there and nice freelancers who are all around 30 years old. Some lovely, lovely women in there, and the band is fantastic. Bloody good stuff. Good bar, really good bar there. David R. Remember that I had to take 2 flights from Los Angeles to get to Thailand. You have it much easier. Yeah, from California to Thailand, it's a hell of a journey. I mean, I've got a direct flight with a nice airline from London to Bangkok, and I can't wait. David Coleman, I would never treat a girl bad. You were just a jerk off if you did. Absolutely. I mean, those girls, I have respect for them. I have respect. Occasionally, only very rarely, you will get a rogue amongst those girls. But most of those girls are fine. As long as you don't, give them any unnecessary temptation. If you meet a girl in a bar in Thailand or Cambodia or whatever, if you bring her to your room, be respectful, but don't leave valuables. Don't go to the bathroom for a shower, leaving your expensive bloody smartphone or your money or whatever, valuables, jewelry lying around in your hotel room. Because by the time you come out of the shower, she probably won't be there. So just use your common sense. If you use your common sense, you treat them well, then, you'll be okay with them. Malk, £550 flying Qatar from Edinburgh in February. Okay, Qatar. So, I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. I've never been to Qatar. But anyway, good luck to you. Jeffrey Wood. Hi, Eddie. Sorry I'm late. Love the live chat. Cheers, mate. Nice to hear from you. David Coleman. I have to take a 21-hour flight from Toronto to Bangkok. It's so far. Well, obviously, that's not a direct flight, is it? That's a bloody... Yeah, that is. And I think 12 or 13 hours is bad enough. Hi Ed, hope you're well. Wahin on Saturday. Good for you. I like Wahin. I don't love it, but I like it. But that place, Peter Thailand Bound mentioned Wahin the other night when I was on his twat. I almost said when it was on his swat. I mean, when it was on his chat. No, not when it was on his swat. No, that just go totally wrong. When it was on his live stream, his live chat stream. And he asked me, something about Warhead. He said, "Did you really like that place?" He loves Warhead. A lot of people love Warhead. Jim Andrews loves Warhead. He lives there about half the year. Other vloggers live in Warhead, and it is a really good place. It's got a lovely beach, the town centre. It's quite a big place. It's got a lot of. It's got all that you need. It's got shopping malls. It's got bars. It doesn't quite. It hasn't quite clicked for me. I've been there twice. I like the place, but perhaps it is a good place to retire. I mean, some people, some people say that Warhead is their favourite place in Thailand. I don't really see anything wrong with the place, but I just don't think it's, it just doesn't quite have that raw edge that I like so much. But you're going to Warhead on Saturday. Have a great time, mate. There's plenty to enjoy there. Daniel Kelly, 780 return. Sounds good. It was 426 months ago. Oh, well. Nice to hear from you, Daniel. Kenny Bork, nice to hear from you. Cats and Good Coffee. Eddie, did you watch already the movie that half of your community recommended called Cesario or what? I did watch it. I watched Cesario, and I actually done a review on the Steady Eddie live stream the other night, a couple of nights ago. Let me just remind that I do one live stream a week on this channel while I'm here. And we talk about travel. There's not really a great deal to talk about at this moment in time, but that's why, I've invited everyone to chip in and talk about travel, whatever you've got to talk about. But this is a travel channel. The other channel, Steady Eddie Live, that is for live streams. And we talk about other things. We don't just talk about travel. We talk about other things. Like the other night, we talked about movies, top 10 gangster movies. We talk about scandals, famous scandalous news stories. It's all good fun. It's a smaller channel. It's a smaller community than here. But through the week, it's good fun. I mean, if you may have noticed right here, I'm not really bringing any fun and games onto this chat. This is purely a travel chat. On the other channel, I'll bring a few fun and games on, and we've had some. It's been some good live streams recently. As for Cesario, yeah, good movie. I watched it the other night. Well worth a look. Well worth a look. Sure, man. As the turkey says, gobble gobble. That turkey's got some conversation, hasn't he? McLaren F1 race. Such a lovely warm breeze tonight at 11 p.m. I bet we get 2 foot of snow. November. Oh, in this bloody country, we're always complaining about the weather. Always bloody complaining about the weather. I mean, right now we've got about 30 degrees. So people have dreamed about this for years, 30 degrees. Now everyone's complaining. They're acting as if, we're all going to burn to death. I better switch the, what do we call it on? Whoa. There we go. I forgot to switch the charger on this. The battery was about to drain on this pretty soon. Kipax. Who cares? I'm in Thailand. I cared about you, Kipax. I'm sure you're a very, very nice guy. Okay, so you're in Thailand right now. Have a great time, mate. I'm going to be joining you soon. David Coleman. I love David Coleman. He doesn't mince words. I had some good fun in Cuba and Mexico. I even had a few in Jamaica over the years. Okay, I mean, I'm sure, like you're not the kiss and tell type, are you, David? Donald Budo. Oh, imagine if every viewer was to subscribe. Please subscribe above, folks, and ring the bell too for notifications on future shows. It's bloody free. Okay, thank you, Donald Budo. Really, really nice to hear from. I believe you are in America, or are you in Canada? Wherever you are. Cheers, Donald. Anyway, always nice to hear from you. Okay. Yogi Bear, David Coleman, I think it's something to do where you live on the planet. Can't you break it up anyway? Well, I mean, it wouldn't be for David Coleman in Toronto. It wouldn't be. I don't think you can get 21-hour direct flights anywhere. So presumably it's it's 2 flights. He's going to be breaking it up somewhere or another. El Terrifico, Buffalo Bills. Nice to hear from you, El Terrifico. Yeah, Buffalo Bills was that big establishment, big restaurant in White Sand Beach, Ko Chang, the main high street there. And outside, look, you've got the Western theme, you've got the John Wayne steak and all this kind of stuff. And it looked good, but it looked bloody expensive, very expensive. Leap Clark, 70 odd baht to the pound back in my tripping days, the good old days. I remember 73. Greg Fox, with the mother of all recessions on the way, what makes you think this high season will be busy? People, well, I mean, the mother of all, there will be some people, who can't afford to go there because the flights are too expensive. Oh yeah, you will lose out, but I still think people will. Although people will find the money, they'll one way or the other. I think they will be. I mean, yeah, it's a good point, mate. It's a good point, Greg. If people haven't got the money, no matter how easy it is to get there or how tempting it is to get out to Southeast Asia, if you haven't got the money, I mean, some people are going to suffer badly. They are going to suffer badly. But don't forget, an awful lot of people who go out to Thailand and places like that, a lot of those people are retired. A lot of them, I don't know what percentage, but a lot of them are retired. So some people will find the money one way or the other. But it's a good question, yeah. Kenny Bork, 2 weeks and counting. Retired, I'm on my way. Been 2.5 years. Can't wait. Well, good for you, mate. 2 weeks and counting. So that will still be end of August. Good for you, mate. Have a great time. Have a great time. Please, here. Osama Samosa, thank you for that super chat. Thanks for that, mate. You inspired me to spend a month in Cambodia, June this year. It was great. Cheers. Okay, thank you. I'm glad you liked it. Cambodia is a wonderful country. Obviously, May and June, that's very, very much low season. I love it in, I love it in November to March, the peak season, because the weather is fantastic, but great little country. It's not what it was because, Sihanoukville was an important part of Cambodia, and that's kind of gone down the Swanee River now. But great little country, and I can't wait to see it again. And I'm glad you had a good time, mate. Thanks for that super chat, mate. Tom Streeter, did you see a pint of lager at West Ham at the weekend? Cost £7.30. Well, I don't actually go to West Ham, but £7.30. Bloody scandalous. That's like an airport price, that is. That's awful. That's awful. Absolutely awful. But it's when I arrived back from Romania about 3 weeks ago, I stopped off at Exeter. Now, when I'd been in Romania, I was drinking beer Baretti. I think it's an Italian beer, and you get a lot of it in Romania. And it was very, very reasonably priced in bars and restaurants when I was drinking it in Romania. Can't remember how much you paid, but it was very, very reasonably priced. Very reasonably priced. And the coach stopped off at Exeter on my way back home. And I had about an hour's wait in Exeter to change coaches. So I went into a pub in Exeter, and guess what they were serving? They had, on draft, they had beer Baretti. I thought, okay, fine, I kind of like that. Give me a pint of beer Baretti. Bloody £5.20. £5.20 for a pint of beer that was costing me, even in a restaurant in Bucharest, was costing me probably bloody half that price. Dreadful. But these are the times we live in. McLaren F1. Hey guys, we need to coordinate the hunting packs through the soils. A mongering league. Okay, good stuff. Kipex, best part of the job. What is it? You're talking about squeaky door. That was Miles. Jeez, am I really that far behind with the chat? Jeffrey Wood. I'm going first to Thailand end of December, then maybe to Myanmar. What do you think about me? I never actually made it there. I tried to go there some years ago, but the visa seemed too awkward. I tried to get the visa while I was actually, funny enough, when I was in Pattaya, and they said you should have done it in your own country before. I thought, to hell with it. You know, I kind of gave up, and I've never actually made it there, funnily enough. Derek Edwards. Eddie, what happens to pork pies and old speckled hen? Well, funnily enough, I still drink the speckled hen. I do have it, but the pork pies, you know, I haven't got round. I just haven't got round to. I used to buy pork pies when I used to go to supermarkets, and I used to pick them up off the shelf. But funnily enough, I shop online now with Asda, and when I'm on the laptop, I always forget there's certain things I forget to put in, and pork pies is one of them. So let me see. I think that the chat here, I think I'm miles behind. I'm absolutely miles and miles and miles behind with the chat here. Don't don't ever forget there are some people who do live streams who just ignore the chat. I wouldn't do that. At least I make an effort. I do make an effort to actually respond to the chat. And isn't it nice? I've gone through the whole chat stream tonight and I haven't blocked anybody. This is famous grouse, by the way. Very nice whiskey. Lovely stuff. Let me see. Carl Foster, Eden Bangkok. Oh, that's the Eden Bar. That's that little knocking shop, isn't it? Where you know that little side with the dirty massages are. Okay. HMRC benefit sheet. What age did you give up on Western women, Eddie? Have I given up on Western women? I said, well, probably when I started going to Thailand, really, was when I was about 30, late 30s, something like that. Mazza, I'm not sure when I'll get to Thailand next, but I'm sure it'll be a busy peak season. Enjoy all. Cheers, mate. Cheers. Stephen Forex, nice to hear from you. As the tourism department proposed 4 a.m. opening for next meeting. Too late for me, but definitely a positive step. I'm not sure about that one, but nice to hear from you. Tommy Romson folks. Ed, people very rarely get asked anything like this. Ed, what's a good budget camera to record on whilst abroad? Do you reckon GoPro, or are there alternatives? And we talk a little teensy weensy bit about cameras. GoPro are bloody good. My GoPro, which I used, not recently in Romania, but I used it when I was in Thailand. The GoPro, mine is a GoPro 7. Because don't forget, I mean, I know that's pretty old now, but then when I bought it, you know, a brief while later, the pandemic came in and we went traveling. So it's still quite fresh. A GoPro is good because they've got a built-in stability, so you won't need a one of those gimbals with it. I mean, because the built-in stability, and you can strap it to your chest, and it's light and it's very, very good. It has its problems. One of the problems it has is overheating. It does overheat. Because I discovered that when I was at a temple in Hua Hin quite recently. I think it was Hua Hin or Koh Samui, whatever it was. Another problem with the GoPro is that unless they change it, it's not very good with night vision. It's great for daytime, but as soon as the night comes, the low vision, it's not very good then. But another good thing about a GoPro is that You know, it when you're walking along the beach, it doesn't catch the wind like other cameras. I have a Canon G7X. That's bloody terrible for catching the wind. Even my smartphone, my Oppo Reno, you know, it's terrible catching wind. But the GoPro doesn't catch the wind the way those other things are. So a GoPro is really good. But there's a lot of great an Oppo Reno 4. That's what I used on my recent Romania trip, and bloody good stuff. Really good. That's quite, you know, some of the mobile phones are better than the cameras nowadays. Skippy Gatton, Ed, in September I'm visiting Greece. Can't wait. Good for you, mate. Greece is I was there last September, wasn't I? In Crete and in Athens. Bloody good place. Nice country. Nice country. Very, very good. Have a lovely time. The thing about that part of the world, Greece and Turkey, they have amazing blue skies. I looked at one of my old videos last year, and there's some countries which may be hot, but the sky always looks a little bit hazy. In Thailand, the sky often looks a bit hazy. The thing about Turkey and Greece, when it's hot, they have such amazing clear blue skies. And Greece is a lovely country. Good for you, mate. I'm sure you'd love it. Mark Butler, where's the best soap massage? Well, if you're in Bangkok, somebody mentioned the Eden Bar before. But don't forget, we've had the pandemic now, so things might have changed. But there used to be some very, very good soapies up that way. Steve Johnson, hope the exchange rate improves. £42 is still so crap. Is that what it is now? Yeah, pretty crap. Kippax Beer Garden is open. Yeah, I was in the beer garden a few months ago. Mazza, I'm not going to answer your question. It's too vulgar, but the answer to it is yes. Carl Foster, Chinese and Russians are pushing up prices in Thailand. You know, really, it's a matter of opinion. I mean, funnily enough, I hear that there's many Indians who are going to Phuket this year. You know, there's so many thousands expected to turn up in Phuket this year, and that's the expensive place as well. So good for them. You know, good for them. I'm not going to Phuket anyway, so it doesn't make any difference to me. I like Indians, by the way. I like Indians. Don't get me wrong. I like Indians. Okay. Ben Ferncake. Howdy, Steady Eddie. Ben here from Florida. Okay, nice to hear from you, mate. Nice to hear from you. Daniel Kelly. What's happened to the Bamboo Bar? The Bamboo Bar, that was the one just before you go into Walking Street. Well, the last time I seen that was closed. Did you like that place? I always thought that was a bit overrated, that place. They had a band in there, and it was entertaining. And I've heard it's a great place, you know, for the. I never rated that place personally. Not really. Not one of my favorite places. Yeah, Kippax says it's closed. Yeah, it was last time I seen it. David, Ed, I've stayed in Thailand every month of the year many times. I don't need any high season. The seasoned traveller knows how to have fun any month. Good, well said, David. Well said. Well said. Michael Janaeus. Mate, I haven't been to Thailand for 3 years. Oh, come on. You'll get there, mate. You'll get there. You'll get there. McLaren F1 race, Brazilian birds do look a bit Asian. I wouldn't actually say that. I wouldn't actually say that. Some beautiful Brazilian. Oh yeah, some beautiful Brazilian birds. No doubt about that. And no matter overseas, what's the mobile internet speed like in Cambodia? Able to handle a video call, or will it struggle to get connected? Do you know something? The mobile internet speed. It's been almost 4 years since I was in Cambodia. I can't remember. I don't think I had a smartphone then. You know, I was using Wi-Fi in hotel rooms with my laptop, but I don't think I had a smartphone 4 years ago. I didn't really use a phone that much, really. A video call, I don't know. I actually, I've lost touch with Cambodia. I'll tell you this winter time. I'll tell you this winter time. Kiki on the chat. I'd love to visit Myanmar, but I fear it's a fruitless endeavour. Unfortunately, because it's a stunningly beautiful country and has some of the most beautiful women in Asia. I've never actually managed to make it. I would love to see it, but I've never actually made it there. Roy Gold, nice to have you, Roy Gold. Always brings a bit. He's out in John TM. He's retired there. Always brings a bit of positivism. Roy Gold, can't see myself ever moving back to the UK in the near future. It's getting unaffordable there. Some of my family are visiting me now in Pattaya, having fun showing my daughter around town. Good for you, Roy. Good for you. Roy, I raise my glass to you, Roy. Roy lives in John TM. He's retired out there, and he is happy. Great to have from you, mate. Let's just make what he mentioned about the UK becoming unaffordable. There's also another thing before it slips my mind, right? I mentioned the doctors earlier today. One of the reasons that people are reluctant to take the plunge and retire abroad is that they worry about the national health. We've got the national health here in England. I'm sorry, the national health is becoming not what it was. Not what it was. I mean, the other day, I was unable to make an appointment at the doctors because they don't do doctors anymore. And it's not, it's not as good as it was. It's becoming inaccessible. And I'm thinking to myself, if I was to go and live in Thailand and pay a couple of grand a year for health insurance, then it's probably I'd probably get a better service there if I paid the money, a couple of grand a year to get better access. So the national health right now at this moment in time, it doesn't seem as valuable as it once was. Just my opinion. Nice to hear from you anyway, Roy. Kipax, I'll be in the beer garden. It's going to be a hot weekend. Good for you, mate. But no, beer garden's great. Beer garden's great. You get that lovely stuff, lovely mixed grill. You got the view of the bay. Terrific. One of the old stalwarts. But Clonliffe Honors, hey guys, where's all this? Yeah, they haven't been on tonight. We haven't been invaded tonight by these Saxon, dating spammer. We haven't been invaded tonight. What's happened? Maybe they've given up on me. Only in Thailand. I will never forget my first trip to Thailand, Nana Plaza, in 2019, when a ladyboy winked at me. That's the first time I've ever felt wanted in a long time. Oh my God! Should we get the violins out? Da, 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 da. Oh my God! That's such a sad story. Okay, Daniel Kelly. What's the big attraction of going to Thailand Christmas? It's more expensive. There's more knobheads around. Better go February or March. Much better. Well, the reason obviously that Christmas is because a lot of these guys work and they have Christmas holidays like a lot of people do. So they can't necessarily go at other times of the year. They have to go according to when their holidays are dictated, you see. So that's why, everyone's off work around Christmas time, and that's why they go there, really. Barry from EastEnders, nice to have you. Big flight to Bangkok, 1st of February from Heathrow. Can't bloody wait. Do you prefer Chang, Leo, or Singer? Right, I don't like Chang at all. I just don't like it. I do not like Chang. It's got like a kind of a sweetness. I don't like it. Leo, I do like. Funny enough, I never drank that for a long time. Until I think my last couple of journeys there. But Leo is good. It's a nice beer, Leo. Nice beer. I always drank Singer, but Singer is it's good, but it's nothing special. It's better than Chang. But I think really, Singer is probably the most well known. But Leo is Leo's probably my favorite. I mean, Singer it's all right, but I think Leo's the best one. Cat's a good coffee. Do you go to Thai or Filipino restaurants in the UK? I don't really go to restaurants in the UK. Last time I was in a restaurant was for a mate's birthday, and I went to an Italian restaurant, and I didn't eat much, and cost me a bloody arm and a leg. I don't go to restaurants. I mean, I'm not really in the UK. Some people love restaurants. Where I live, restaurants are always busy. They're always busy, the weekends. Sometimes even through the week, they have parties. Some people live to go to restaurants. Not me. I mean, do I go to Thai or Filipino restaurant? I don't go to either here. I don't go to either, to be honest with you. But I would certainly go to a Thai restaurant in Thailand. Wildcat 66. Pattaya can be as expensive as the UK, but I'd rather spend time with a nice Thai girl, boy, lady boy than a UK smackhead entertainment worker. Okay, good for you, mate. Nick Ross. Kiki on the sale. If in Yangon, visit JJ's nightclub. Stunning Burmese chicks. No cameras allowed. I wouldn't have expected to take a camera there anyway. Thanks for that recommendation anyway, Nick Ross. Iceman, what new generation? The birth rate plummeted from around 6 kids per woman in 1970 to 2 kids in 1990. And it's 1.5 now. Less teen pregnancies, improving living standards, online hookup apps, etc. Well, it's good for them anyway. It's nice. It's nice that the people in Thailand are on the way up anyway. So thanks for that info anyway, mate. The Baldy Vlogger. Okay, I'm off to bed now. Up at 4:30 a.m. For work. Great live show again. Cheers. Okay, thanks for that, mate. I mean, rest well. Rest well. Oh, and he's going as well. Oh, they're all telling me to go. They're all telling me to go. Kipax, night. Okay, good night. Good night, Kipax. Night. Hope the bed bugs don't bite. Nice to have you around. Robert Wilson, you have the overland route down there. Okay. Lisa, they're all even Lisa's telling me to finish it. Lisa Dell, good night, everyone. I've had enough abuse or what. We'll tune into the next live show and get a bit more, okay? Lisa, my darling, it's all in good fun. Sweet dreams, Lisa. See you soon, honey bunch. Okay? Yogi Bear, good night. Night, Kipax. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to finish this. I'm going to finish this off soon. We've been on for an hour and an hour and almost 2 hours. Okay, here we go. Roy Gold. Roy Gold, flight from Bangkok to Phnom Penh at only around 40 quid one way in December. That sounds good. Yeah, that's good. I mean, if your flight's good, but the fact is, I do know another vlogger. Who was going from Phnom Penh to with Lamai Airways from Phnom Penh to, I think he was going to Chiang Mai, and he was delayed for a horrendous 9 hours. 9 hours stuck at Phnom Penh Airport. Oh, that's absolutely dreadful. And for me, that's I've had plenty of flight delays, Vietnam, other places, plenty of them. For me, that's, whenever possible, just do the road. Just do the road. Okay. Why? Nice haircut, Eddie. About time. All the Thai women will be throwing themselves at you. Can't wait, mate. Only in Thailand. Ed, when you travel to other countries like Cambodia, Thailand, said, how do you pay for them? In cash. In reputable hotels, I will pay with a credit card. But ordinarily, I will pay with cash because that's still, I don't like, if I'm in a restaurant, I don't like, handing my credit card to, a waiter, going back. I don't like doing it. I'd much rather pay by cash. I know where I am there. Thailand bound. Nice to hear from you, Peter. Nice to hear from you. Okay, Richard. Why in too many horses? Okay. Don't sugarcoat it over. Just say what you mean. David Coleman, I had to take a 9-hour flight from Toronto to Lima, Peru. It was hell, okay? Kipax, I'm eating seafood sticks. I love the smell on my things. Good for you. Are you in the beer garden? Roger Maroney, how many pit stops between Pattaya and Siam Reap? I did a video a few years ago on that one. Pit stops. It's quite a long way to get to the border from Pattaya to, the Poipet border. You'll stop off here and there. You'll stop off enough times to go and take a leak or whatever. David Heisenberg, lookalike. Cheers, Ed. I'm having a cold can of Thatcher's Gold cider with you. Good for you, mate. Good for you. Good for you. The Lost King of Scotland, Scrumpy Jacks, has decided for me. Oh, I like that one. I like that one. Okay, so I'm going to wrap this one up pretty soon anyway. I'm just going to go through. We've been on for nearly 2 hours now. I think that's about enough. Like I say, this live stream, not the most inspired live stream, but basically, this is a travel channel. I'll do a live stream on here once a week. And if there's nothing really to talk about, no really great developments in the world of travel, I still did a live stream. We can come on here and share a few ideas. It's like a little community coming together. We've shared a few ideas tonight. And I think, I'm thinking positive. I think the peak season is about 3 months away, in Southeast Asia, in Thailand and Cambodia. I think it'll be a good season. I think it will be. I've got my flight booked. I can't wait. Other people have got flights booked. There's an air of positivism. Let's hope the dreaded antivirus is a thing of the past. It dragged on so long, and we're all glad to see the back of it. Okay. Let me see another. Okay, another couple of things. Okay, Cats and Good Coffee. Gentlemen, I'm a loser that has to work tomorrow. No, you're not. No workers will lose. You're a working man. That's good. So enjoy the live stream. I'm putting my pajamas on and going to sleep. Good for you, mate. Steve Johnson, Daniel Kelly, we're paying more than double in use, but better than being in the UK at Christmas. Plus, it's cheaper than Canaries and Caribbean. Okay. Let me see. Issa man, at current exchange rate, it is about 9 per kilowatt. I live in modest house, fans going all day, AC in the bedroom. My average bill is about £50 a month. That sounds bloody good. Esan Man has great information, really great information. Rookie DIY, sure you will have a dirty dozen this winter. Don't worry, I'm working on it. Okay, I'm gonna skip through this. The what should we call it's back, isn't it? Who was that? Let me see. Okay, I'm going to skip through this anyway. Sorry, I've fallen so far behind in the chat, but anyway, I'm going to finish this one off. Let's see. Loads of us still here. Thanks, Eddie. It was fun. Okay, thank you. Nick Ross, you need to talk about other places, not just. Okay, yeah, okay, fine. Kipax, great chat, good laughs. Take care, Eddie, in chat. Okay, thanks for that, Kipax. Nice to hear from you. Jason Day, even Eddie, what countries are left in your bucket list you haven't been to yet? I think I've been to all the ones that are. I still wouldn't mind traveling through America, but I just think it'd be too expensive, to be honest with you. Nick Ross, next it will be huge unrest in Asia. It has already started, okay? So thanks for that positive note, Nick. Ed Sweeney, 20 Stone White, back in England. Have you ever taken more than one girl home at the same time? My darling, you are 20 girls all rolled into the one body, okay? Here we go. Okay, McLaren F1 race. Cheers, Eddie. Thanks for the laughs. Okay, thanks for that, mate. And on that note, I'll say good night. I'll probably be back next Wednesday or Thursday night on this channel for a live stream. But don't forget the Steady Eddie live stream channel. We talk about other things. We talk about movies. We even talked about football last week, and you know, can't please everyone all the time, but we talk about other things, and it's a good little old laugh. And let's face it, 10 o'clock weekdays, what the hell else is going on? Okay, so thanks, guys. I'll be back on the Steady Eddie Live over the weekend. If I don't see you, have a lovely weekend. Let's all keep thinking positive. Cheers. Nice of you to turn up, guys. Have a lovely weekend.